As you can see, I'm running a little bit behind. Old ass don't want to get up in the morning. Excuse my French. Yeah, I forgot. You're not supposed to say any cuss words the first couple of minutes on YouTube. You can get hit for that. We don't need that. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Don't hurt the harvest. Hey, good morning, gamer bro. Good morning, you new. How y'all doing this morning? Oh, yeah, you can tell I'm ready to go home because normally this is my go home run, and I'm still not awake yet. I mean, I'm awake, but I had to make me a cup of coffee. I got to get a new machine. I got to get a new coffee machine, but I'm cutting back on the coffee, so I'm kind of going to wear this one out. I'm working on cutting back on the coffee, um, and working on the weight. That's the hard part when I done got out of sync, and just trying to get back into the swing of things is getting a little bit. It's a little hard. Uh, would say how's everybody doing? Look, it's old Doc 30, so I'll leave that alone. um, One I wanted to talk about today, and let me just do this one little thing. Get my thing going, and then we can get out on the road. I seen um, I think it was on TikTok. Uh, Ricky Smiley had did a short, you know, video about um, we as parents. You've done your job, and don't be shamed into doing things that you don't want to do. Like, hey, you're my parents. You're supposed to pay for my college. You're my parents. You're supposed to, um, let me live with you. You're my parents. You're supposed to. And a lot of times, as parents, you know, you kind of overdo it. We kind of overdid it with certain ones in the family. You have certain kids that you don't have to worry about because not that they've got it, but you know they've learned that at a certain point, I got to I got to not put you out, but I got to let you learn about life. And other kids, you know, it, we've coddled them and held them close, and they haven't figured out life. They actually got worse. You know what I'm saying? Um, they're lazy. Nowadays is they stay home, play video games. In my days, they got hooked on drugs. Um, Family members steal from your parents. Um, in my case, my parents, both of them, it was more of a certain individuals got away with bloody freaking murder and then had a place to stay. Well, me as I mean, you hear it a lot. I say clueless Joe, but I was. I had to learn a lot of stuff over the years by myself. You know what I mean? One of the things is one of the reasons why I like being a truck driver is I know if anything else go down, I got a place to lay my head. You know what I mean? But I've always been a worker. I've always been that one that regardless, I'll get out there. I'll shovel poop poopy doop if I need to. I'm being polite. You know, um, but we coddle our kids, and the kids just stay there, and they they rob and steal from Grandma Blind. I got my wife's friend, one of her family members stays with like one of the grandmothers, the great aunts, and when people were getting their money back from the government, not money back, but the PPE or whatever the heck it was. I don't think it was PPE, but the stimulus. Well, he put down their names and took their stimulus. I mean, and it was no big deal, and robbed them blind. And the aunt with the great aunt or whatever was wondering where his stimulus money was. Turned out this boy took it, and he flaunted it online and all this, all this crazy stuff. And you know these are the things we allow and let these young kids who turn out to be old kids get away with. You know, in my parents, they were more of the, what's the word? If you kiss they behind, you could do stuff. My sister had a child out of wedlock, and later on, you know, my father. I guess he was trying to redeem himself because he wasn't the greatest father, but he's still my father. He's still my pops. I could see that he was trying to redeem himself through his granddaughter, my sister's daughter, and he wound up adopting her. He said, if because you don't have a father, now you got a father. Well, you had a grandfather, fool. And later on in later lives, because my father was very cantankerous, I left it up to them, and I just stayed away. Because if I couldn't show the respect, I you know wouldn't come around until I could show the respect. But they were robbing them blind. You know, um, after my father passed, uh, when my mother passed, instead of giving her the funeral, she had all the money. My sister was gonna, uh, pitch in and oh no, no, I got a different excuse of what she got, and my mother was cremated prematurely. My sister was flying in to see her before she could. She didn't even get a chance. My mother was cremated. All the money was taken out. She had everything redone for her to get everything. Let me show you how ignorant when you have little children and not been out in the world. Instead of putting the house up for sale, my mother's house, instead of putting my mother's house up for sale, what she did was she convinced my mother right before she passed to give her some money down for like an Airbnb. Oh, grandma, we're gonna make money. You're gonna do this, gonna do that. And my mother, my mother gave this idiot this money, and she took it, put a down payment on an apartment, and just left. Left my sister, my cousins, all them in that house. And then after my mother passed, instead of you already stole, you know, I'm not even gonna say my rightful inheritance, but my oldest sister, I'm gonna say that my oldest sister deserved that house or deserved the right because she loved my mother no matter what. And she took that and didn't even sell it. If you're gonna be a thief, just finish the job. She just left. I think the house was put up for auction because it went into foreclosure. um, Either this week or last week or whatever. It's gone, and all the stuff in there, all the keepsakes, probably my old pictures. I mean, all gone. And it's a crying shame. And I get back to the story. When you coddle your kids and don't allow them time to get out in the world and grow up, you know, when they have the fear of if I don't work, I don't eat. If you get the fear of If I don't work, I don't have a roof over my head. You get the fear of, you know, if I don't keep myself healthy, how can I work? I mean, just these simple things. Well, I can go back home. Well, officially, right now, I can't. I'm mid 50s, so I can't. I only have one person, two people to rely on: me and my wife, and God. So that's three. Sorry. And the reason I'm saying that is we got to stop coddling our kids, even when they're young and they want to get out there. Okay, no problem. Have at it, bro. Be their back. I'm not saying be evil, but have their back. And let them know, hey, it's like that bird that has those chicks, and sometimes you see that they'll toss the chick out and see if it flies. You got to have this generation get out there and see if they can fly. Because if not, eventually when you die, they're gonna die along with you because they ain't got nothing. Because those folks, yo, you can't come to my house. My wife ain't having it, and I ain't having it. Because you no, you can't come over here paying rent and all that stuff. No, and I don't mean to sound mean, but hey, I had to get out here. I've been out here on my own since 18. I had to come home once, and I really didn't have to do that. I was driving a truck. I only reason came home because I was recovering from almost dying in a truck. But then I said to myself, hey, I better get my behind back out here. I said, if I don't get back behind that wheel, I ain't never gonna get behind that wheel ever again. And that's why I'm out here now. no, it just reminds you, people just, what we jump into bed, we have sex, do, and don't realize that that's not how God intended. Instead of you wearing contraceptives and taking the pill or doing whatever to be smart about it, with popping babies out, babies making babies raising babies, and then we're thinking, well, I could just go on welfare and put this fool on child support. A good percent of that child support, that baby ain't getting because she probably putting in, on hair and nails and whatever. The other part of that, still not getting all of it because they're charging, extra. And I just found out it's going into a slush fund for retired judges or some crap like that. If that ain't the craziest mess I've ever heard, it's unfreaking believable. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but is that the reason why they make men and women or whatever? Because the women do pay child support, make them pay even more. That's crazy. Now my son is in his mid 20s. Oh no, late 20s. He screwed up. He screwed up, and he knew I was mad. But I can't stay mad. I'm his father. But I'm trying to tell him, look, I'm trying to teach you some stuff. I'm trying to show you some stuff. Now, if you want to be receptive, let me know. If you don't want to be receptive, let me know. Because look, I'm all this gray in my beard, all this white in my beard. Hey, I can step back and let you have at it. You know, I I'm good, but that's all right. I'm not mad because I'm trying to be a father. At least I'm trying. You got other fathers. Hey, they still ain't figured it out. I ain't figured it out. No, but I just wanted to talk about that. I'm gonna move on because that's give me a headache and a stomach ache already this early in the morning. But I wanted to. It's giving me a headache, a stomach ache, and you know what. But I wanted to talk about um, Dre Lachey had mentioned, and, because she used to date a truck driver, and and she mentioned something that I knew, and that's how I started laughing. And I was in a live, and she did a pop up live last night. I was laughing. She said, "Hey, she went out with her boyfriend on the road for a couple of days, and she a lot of uh, actually I'll be PG. I'm gonna be PG today, but lot of women and other people that come on the road, they don't realize that it's a whole different world out here. Um, Certain nights, I sleep in a dirt parking lot. Certain nights, I sleep at a a rest area or a service plaza. Certain nights, I'm parked on the street. Certain nights, I'm I really don't like to do overpasses. Off ramps. I'm sorry, I really don't like to do off ramps. I had to do one once, scared the crap out of me. But it's not about, yeah, it's about hygiene, but it's not about hygiene. It's about getting that load there and getting paid. And he said, hey, are we gonna stop by, the truck stop and take a shower? Well. He said, well, we got to keep going. We got to make it through. What he was saying is, I ain't got time to watch my behind. I got to get this load. I got to get further down the road. And I started cracking up because I promise you, I know I've been there a million times. You know, um, you get the back, you get your. I got a little bowl of soapy water. I use the African soap. I like the African soap because it gets boy. You get back there, it's get a quick one. Wash your whole body down and dry yourself off. It's like trucking is like camping. You know, you can always tell the new truckers because they get out their truck with a suitcase and they walk it into the truck stop and they spend 45 minutes to an hour in there brushing their teeth, combing them. Shoot, man, it's been many days. Get up, throw some cold water on my face and keep it down the road. Ah, it's the same thing when going to the bathroom. I hate to be a bubble. Park, excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Get in the truck stop, park. Good morning, good morning. Get in the truck stop, park. Go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, and get back on the road. So if you're an old head like me, whose testosterone level is a bit on the low side, and you go to the bathroom a lot, add that up. 20, 30 minutes every time you got to go to the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom 10 or 20 times a day. That load will never make it there. I run out of hours just trying to get just parking. Trust me, I had to come to that realization when I first started. I mean, ugh, yeah, ill. I understand, but this is what you know guys like me on the road got to go through. And guess what? It's even harder for a woman. I'm not even going to tell you what some women had to do. There's another the woman truck driver that's in our group. She even admitted to it. She got a portable toilet in her truck. I was like, see, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. That's why. And I was looking one of the one of the people that's in on this YouTube streets that we all walk up and down. I sent her a message on Instagram. I'm gonna start probably working with her getting some shirts. I want to order 2 shirts. If I like them, I might order some more and sell them. And one of the ideas is I want to um, I want to put on that like on the back of the shirt, "Don't be a stinky booty," and have a big old butt on the back. I think that would be hilarious, you know. Um, but I'm looking for something that's affordable. I don't want to get on here selling $40 shirts, knowing that I'll probably only get like a $5, commission off it. I'm not doing that. But I will see. We'll see. But I was just I was just thinking about that. I thought that was funny. Uh, I checked my available funds because I'm heading home. I'm kind of low on dough because of that daggone ice storm. My check should have been bigger. My check should have been bigger. But hey, it is what it is. You can only do what you can only do. You know what I mean? But um, Armstrong Adventures was saying, he was doing it. He wish you could call me up. She said, because my stories be long. It stretch out his life for a minute. I started cracking up. I was like, really, dude? But it's funny. Like I'm saying, I'm heading down to Georgia right now. I'm actually gonna stretch this out. I could get there. I could get to the shipper today. I mean, the receiver today. But I'm going to our yard, which is about 40, 50 miles, and I'm going home, and I'm gonna play with, I'm gonna play with my front lawn and relax, and then I'm gonna get up in the morning, deliver it, and then I'm off for the next couple of days. Sometimes you just gotta work smarter, not harder, and that's what I'm doing. You know, uh, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna bag up. I, I have an area where it still got the leaves in the backyard. I'm gonna get the lawnmower and with the bagger, and I'm gonna bag that stuff up, and I'm gonna start making a compost pile. That's one thing I wanted to. I want to start working on. My wife always has a bunch of. They say you put cardboard down there and stuff like that. I'm gonna start making a compost pile, and then I'm gonna build a little fence around it and see if I could do it. And then later on, probably tomorrow, I'm going to, if tomorrow or Saturday, no, I can not do it Saturday, but probably Thursday, I'm gonna get some the compost from the horse farm. I'm gonna send that lady a message today and get that in, and I'm gonna add some of that, probably a good bit of it, to my starting pile. I was thinking, in the middle of the month, because it's going to start warming up, order some, those worms and add the worms to the pile so they could, even eat it down even more. I'm really thinking about that because I get a lot of old tree branches and all that stuff. I did a short because I remember when, I did the hypathon and I said I was surrounded by trees, and I guess my better half decided she wanted to embarrass me. Oh, he don't. We ain't surrounded by trees. We got 4 trees. I'm gonna do a video and show y'all how many. I'm gonna show you the forest that I live in the middle of. I did a joke in the part because that video, the short, was actually one of the trees we got taken down because the only way they come down is the HOA if the tree's dying. I actually have another dying tree in the back corner, but I don't have the money to take care of it right now. I wish the ones in the front. I got some house killers. These things are tall. If they go, they coming for the house. That's how tall they are. I don't like to have trees like that in my yard. But I got a few of them. But I mean, it is what it is. When it's your time, you can run from it. But you know, hey, and plus we got insurance, so we good. But I'm still working up, getting through it. But the I don't know about y'all, but it seems like this just been a long behind winter. I'm about ready. I'm about ready to get in my yard. I got geez, I got to work on my retaining wall. Um, I'm drop some seed. I got so much seed. I need to. It's probably going don't went bad or got old. Don't work no more. But I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. We see what happens. Um, and what was I thinking? Oh, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get me a eraser board since I'm not gonna be buying any more mowers for a minute. I'm gonna I'm gonna buy me one of those, not a big one, but a small one, and put it up in the garage and right have the list of what each mower needs and what I gotta do with it. That's what I'm gonna take care of that. Um, since I'm home early, I'm going to get down and gotta look for some romantic stuff for the missus. Our wedding anniversary is the 10th. It's freaking hilarious that it's back on. We got married on a Friday, and I believe our wedding anniversary is on a Friday this year. We got married on a Friday. As soon as we got married, we drove back to the house, changed clothes, jumped on the road, and drove through the night to Miami to go on a cruise, our actual honeymoon cruise. That that was crazy because I'm a big chicken. I like to get there. Experienced cruisers will tell you I like to get there the day before. Um, we always we try to get there the day before, so if something happens, we won't miss the ship. Um, when we're in port, in other countries, I'm again a big chicken. I like to see that ship. I got to see it, even in the distance. That means if something go down, I can walk towards that ship or get there. Um, I always look for a reference point of where I started. It's like when we had went. I'm from New York. I'm from Long Island, New York, but never went and visited New York City. And I remember me and my wife, we drove up there and we spent a couple of days in Manhattan. We were actually literally around the corner from the Twin Towers, the site of the Twin Towers. That's where we stayed. And I remember we got out and was walking and we was asking where's Central Park. And well, Central Park is about 52. I think it's just some astronomical number, like 52 blocks away or whatever. And I Googled it, and I I said, well, I said, honey, it says Central Park's 3.5 miles away. Okay, let's go. And she said, okay, let's go. Which way? And we started walking, and she's like, you gonna walk 52 blocks? Yes, it's only 3.5 miles. And people just thought we were freaking crazy. And that was hilarious. But it was so funny on the way back, where the Twin Towers used to be. There's another tower behind it, but it's real tall. I mean, you can't miss it. And she started going up this one street. I said, no, we need to go that way. And, you know, and good fashion as a wife, I know what I'm talking about. We need to go this way. And I said, no, you don't. We need to go that way. And she started arguing, and I said, look, and I pointed to that big behind tower. I said, our hotel is on the opposite side of that. So we need to go this way. Oh yeah, yeah, you know, yeah. We need to go that way. Oh, okay. Yes, dear. You know. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, dear. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? Um, we just talking about this and that, and I was just playing with the. I watched your video. I was playing with the, you know, making the moderators. Miss V. I was just playing with that last night, and I was trying to. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm probably gonna get home to my computer. I can do a better job with it, but you know what I mean. But good morning, good morning, morning. Welcome to the chat. It seems like everybody waking up, even waking up on the highway. But you know, we just trying to get along, get down the road. It's funny. The I used to drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning when I'm really not supposed to 'cause I got high blood pressure, but I don't know if it's the taste I wanted or whatever. You know, I had a few sips and now I'm good. I'm ready for my morning water. My morning water. You know, that makes me go to the bathroom about the other conversation we were talking about. But you know, we of course, yeah, I'm jumping all over the place. You know, it's funny. Uh, bring back the subject I was talking about yesterday when you don't realize stuff that actually damages you at such a young age. And then I looked at myself in the mirror. I said, you know, I mean, I should be acting a whole lot more adult like. You know, I shouldn't be hurt. I shouldn't be this. I shouldn't be that. And then I had to understand, well, you're probably never healed from it. You probably never healed from the damage that was done when you were younger. Because you know, I look, I said, you know, wow, all this gray. I should be acting like an adult, and I feel like a child. Isn't that crazy? Sometimes when we face our fears, we face our, you know, insecurities, and we're everybody in here is grown, a grown behind adult, and we're still dealing with, you know, um, we're still dealing with hurt, pain, and you know, we're still dealing with that. You know, maybe that's a part of, you know, still having that young mentality. I don't know. I don't know because I feel rickety right about now. I'm just saying, my knees hurt. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know, I'm trying to figure out how am I gonna do y'all. I'm trying to cut back on the beer. How am I gonna get out there and do yard work without that 6 pack? And I'm not talking a 6 pack stomach. That 6 pack of Michelob Ultra. But I need to slow down a little bit. You know, need to take it easy a little bit and regroup. You know, sometimes you gotta, yeah, you know, yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You said, oh yeah, getting over ain't no punk. Yeah, no. I'm the biggest punk you ever met, but you don't want to piss me off either. You know, I don't wanna. I don't know. I didn't start enjoying certain activities until I became this age. Why didn't I enjoy it when I was younger? Probably because I was living in a freaking apartment. You know, that's probably why. I didn't have a home. I didn't have the structure that I wanted. I didn't want to grow my own. I didn't want to, I got, work on these peach trees. I hope they come back. We bought them in a flea market. The north of us, I don't know, y'all ever remember going to a flea market? This one, uh, it's predominantly Mexican, but man, this freaking place is huge. It's in North Georgia. It's about 40 minutes north of us on 85. It's freaking huge. My wife loves going there. I might, say, hey, after we go walking and go out for breakfast, I might ask her, hey, you want to go walking around the flea market? Those things that you know she likes to do and enjoy. We get you know um, we're gonna try to get down in there and see what we want. See what we're gonna see. And now, if we buy any new plants, it'd be like Mike. I'm gonna keep my eye on that plant. Might spray them if I bring them in the house. I don't want those little freaking bugs up in my dang house. I had an infestation, you know, around them. They come in, but that's the I guess that's the great part of being a part of a group of people that have certain um, loves that they have broadcast onto the YouTube streets. You know, that's a good. It's people. I said it before. I say it again. I see people that you know are growing their channel. Yeah, they're growing, but you can see they're struggling because they're trying to come up with different ideas. Just be yourself. Be that person and show the world who you are. You're gonna find that niche. I'm I'm starting to find it, man. I was cracking up. I had these old pictures, old videos of me cutting T-bone steaks because it's much cheaper for me to go out and buy a whole loin and cut that steak. I put a little short video, like 5 6 seconds. I had 1,000 views within minutes. Um, I'm going to be working on my John Deere E-Cut hybrid. Adjusting the height of cut, which is you got to go through 40 pages in the manual that I printed out and ran out of ink. Um, but I get views from that because no one does videos on that, and it's crazy because on Facebook. I'm part of a group that these guys are freaking engineers and they're technical specialists. They tell you all the specs, and it's embarrassing that I have no idea about this more, but they know everything. And then the other Toro Greensmaster that I got, they do the same thing. But I'm gonna do some videos and I'm gonna put disclaimer. Hey, I don't know everything, I don't know anything, but I'm having fun doing it. So, because that's what I want to talk about. Have you guys have this problem? I know I have, but I'm trying not to get in my feelings about it. When you post a video, you're gonna have some smart a-hole give you some smart behind comments. So you want to either do you blow them off, do you delete them, do you block them, do you comment? I'll give you an example. I I have this torch to light my charcoals on my grill. But what y'all didn't see in that video is the sprinkler. When the old sprinkler spray the sprinkler is running in the background, wetting down all the grass that's surrounding where I'm at. You didn't look. I didn't. You didn't see below me. I took the water hose and doused the whole freaking porch with water and had the hose on standby if something happened. But this idiot, he said, he says, breaking news, homeowner burns down his house trying to light a charcoal pit. And then he put a happy face. So, I mean, dude, you didn't know what I did in the background to protect my home. You didn't know what I do. Like I said, I'm driving a little lawnmower, and it's got a holder. When I first got it, shoot, I used to have a bottle of drink beer, and giggling. Oh, don't be drinking and driving a lawnmower. And I'm like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about until I hit a tree stump, and it cost me $250. I said, you know what? Some of my lawnmowers are really expensive. I ain't, I'm not, not some of most of them are really expensive. I don't have the time to be wreaking destruction and then have to get this stuff fixed. So I need to either leave that beer alone, or wait till I'm done doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And but people they so quick to judge, and you don't know what the heck's going on in that person's life. I'm not gonna name who it was, but they were doing a cooking video, and I spotted something. Usually, I don't look at the background. I'm a guy. I look at the person or the situation. But I didn't. I didn't say it in a way to be hurtful. I didn't say it in a way to be mean. I didn't say it the way to be a dick. I said, just in the future, when you're making a video, you might want to check your background, because there was something there that shouldn't have been there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be respectful, because if I even say do something more than a heart, that means that I kind of trust you a bit, that I could say something to you and say hi or whatever, because I go to, you know, being a highly sensitive, hypersensitive individual. I go to 0 to 100 real quick, and I'm always on my guard. I don't want to cause the drama, but I just want to be helpful. So if I say something, I spotted something that you probably didn't see, and it happened to me. My wife spotted it. I said it, a couple of days ago. I did a video. I was so excited about this shirt I made and I had sent to me, and then I forgot to look in the background, and there was crap everywhere in our bathroom. Looked like we were hoarders. And she said, "Boy, if you don't uh, delete that video, I know something." And I was mad, but then I'm just saying this. There's got to be a middle ground, because I said when that person had said about when that the video I made, which I got like over, I think 1,000 or 2,000 views. I said, what you didn't know or what you did not see in the background was me prepping the area for any emergencies. I think I even had when I first started using the tools, I'd leave the water hose running, so if I need to grab it, because I've seen those videos. I did a video on frying a turkey. Um, I fried a turkey, but I didn't put it on my porch. I didn't put it on the grass. I put it in the middle of my driveway with the hose running in the background, just in case if something went down. And I had a fire extinguisher. See, we're so quick to judge, but if you want to help, then help. Give a good assessment, and then make that judgment. Do you think this person is going to handle that assessment the right way, or should I just leave it alone? Because some people, no matter how you say it, ain't gonna take it the right way. No matter how you say it, because it's probably something else going on. Like I'll give, and I'm going on over the third world here. I have been a people pleaser all my life, and in every relationship. That's probably why I normally attract narcissistic women, and I can give you prime examples that took advantage of that and took advantage of me. And when I finally had enough and booked up, I remember my wife saying, "Well, that ain't, when I told her, look, you're not gonna talk to me that way, you're not gonna treat me that way, and I am not gonna have it." And she was, and I remember one of the comments was, "That's not fair." I said, "Well, life ain't fair, but you're not gonna talk to me that way," and I meant that. I mean, this woman, we've been together. It's going on 8 years now. 6, 7, yeah, 8 years. Friday. No, married 8 years Friday, but we've been together 8 years. What I'm saying is sometimes something will affect you that you just it had enough, and I've had enough. But if you tell me not to do it, I'm going to keep doing it. But if you leave me alone and I realize, okay, you know what, that ain't right. I'm gonna stop doing it. Then I'll stop doing it. And I know that sounds weird. Yes, I need counseling. If y'all want to donate to the counseling fund for Can't Stop Walking but Love Mowing and Cruising, I do have a cash app. I'd appreciate it. Anything will suffice from 50 cents to 99 cents or whatever. Oh Lord, I'm just a rambling. I'm just a rambling man. Anything will suffice. But I don't know. There's no buts in that one. There's none. There's no buts. um, Here's the question: the things that you guys do, on your YouTube channel, is that your relief valve? We have folks that are into guns. We have folks um, you know, that do clothing hauls, foods, mukbangs, which I still don't understand that y'all. It's not. It's just my opinion. You should change that name because trust me, we are not loved by the Koreans. You just you need to understand where I'm coming from. We are not loved by the Koreans. We are commodity to them. And I just really don't see the chomping and all that stuff. I hate it. I don't but I show support. If you're gonna have a conversation, yeah, I understand, but it should be something originality, or something like that. Good morning, good morning. It's just my opinion. I don't want to be negative, but we have folks that a lot of guys do lawn care, or actually in the lawn care business, like Big Sons. I love Big Sons. He's always happy. He's a real nice person. I appreciate him. And it's funny, what he says is he never asked nobody to subscribe to his channel, and they subscribe. It's crazy how people have these niches. But I'm like, I'm on edge right now because I've been out for 4 or 5 weeks. I want, I want to go play in my yard. I want to go. I actually want to go walking. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, Miss Walking and Talking? I actually want to go walking. I told my wife, we normally just do one or the other at Stone Mountain. We can walk up the mountain and down, or walk around it. Walking around is 5 miles. Walking up and down, 6, 7. It's 2 miles. I think we're going to do both Friday. I think I tell her we should do both, and then all weekend I'm gonna get up because this is what she loves to do, is to go walking. I think I need to spend some quality time with my wife. That part of it. I'm gonna be up at the crack of dawn at uh, for the live-a-thon. I gotta check my time. I think it's. I'm not. I gotta double check. I'm getting old, but I got some ideas. That's one of the things I'm gonna be working on today and the next couple of days for the live-a-thon. I just want to have fun, but back to what I was saying is that your relief valve? I'm starting to feel and realize that you know playing in my yard and fixing up stuff. I'm gonna make a list of what I need to get done in 2023 to the yard and to the house. I need to paint our kitchen. I want to paint the whole freaking inside of the house and the outside, but it's just me. Um, I got to start writing some stuff down. You know what I mean? Got to start writing some stuff down. Yeah, I'm starting to see because normally I get to come through the house. Because I go to Texas, I shoot across I-10, come up into Georgia. I come home for the night. A lot of times I'm in the yard. When the sun go down, I got a flashlight on my head. I'm doing something. I'm working on something, and I just haven't had that. So I'm seeing that that relief valve has not been initiated to let that steam off, and I'm starting to feel it eternally. We again, I've said this before. Everybody wants to be the that big YouTube star. I really don't. I just want to have fun. I just want to have fun. I want to make friends. I want to enjoy myself. And if stuff that happens, it happens. But if it don't, it don't. I'm good. I'm still good with that. Um, the one of the young lady that works for my wife, she says she tells the she was saying that her boyfriend is moving in with this other friend of his that's this so-called YouTube star. He's got this big following because he does videos of raunchy women doing raunchy this and raunchy that. And I told her, I said, honey, you need to tell her that YouTube is coming from a man. He's about to get demonetized, especially if that ain't his content, and two, if it's raunchy, it's gonna be he ain't making all the money you think he making. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not making who you think he making. And people, it's just the same thing with truck drivers. That's why I stopped going into the. I used to go into the lounge and just sit there because sometimes you don't realize that the human being, we are not built to be alone. We're not built to be alone, and it actually messes with your head. Is you find out a lot of the prisoners that get put in solitary confinement for long periods of time, they actually lose it. We're not built to be alone, and but you hear the biggest sack of lies in the truck stop lounge of how much money each trucker makes and what company. And there's many times I just stop going in there because I know what certain companies what they make and and then you don't put in the I make $400,000 a year. Well, how about 300,000 of that is in operating costs and the taxes you got to pay. You know what I'm saying? And the fuel and the money for when something break on a truck, it's astronomical. Freaking freaking astronomical. You be losing one part. That one little itty bitty part be like $600, and they charge $150 an hour to diagnose it. A really good friend of mine, guy I cruise with, he he got hit on I-40 coming through New Mexico. A guy ran it. They were coming around the bend. Instead of the car turning the bend, he ran straight into them and messed the whole side of his truck up. The price tag is going to be astronomical to get that daggone fixed. Just imagine when the tow truck comes, that's $700 to $1,100 just to tow it to the dealer. Yeah, 7 to 11 just to tow it to the dealer. You know, just the tire itself is $600 or $700. The rim is damaged. You got to get the rim. It's all of that stuff. So when you are telling I make all this, are you really making all that? Everybody tries to lie. Hey, look, I'm surviving. I make, whatever. I've already told y'all many times my wife makes more than me, but she respects me. I'm respected. As long as I don't get on the bad side, but that's another story. We respect each other. It's appreciated, but it is what it is. But but we well, back to what I was saying. Folks will brag about I'm making all this money. Come to me, I'll tell you the truth. How much you making? Well, I average about this much a week after taxes. That's it. What do you mean? What do you mean that's it? Everybody trying to be a baller. See, these young ladies nowadays, you see them on it. If my man ain't making $600,000, wait a minute, that's like the top 1% of whatever. Who making that? You know what I mean? Who making that? First of all, if your man going to work, period. I remember, I remember when I first, not first met my girl, but we were dating. I was staying at her place, and I was going to go work for my father, and the deal went bad. The deal literally went bad. But I was hanging around to see, hopefully, maybe he might come to his senses. But he didn't. And I remember my wife had came. I was sleeping. I mean, I wasn't drinking. I wasn't no. I just was sleeping. She came home and she just blurted out, and I knew that was a past trauma for her because that's a lot of She thought she was going through it again. You got to get out and get a job, and she didn't realize I was just waiting to see what was going to happen with my father. And I looked at her, and I was hurt that she said it like that, like I was some piece of crap, lazy dude, which I wasn't. I said, okay, I will. And she went to work. I laid that guy on the phone. That's why I work for this company I work for right now, Night. I said, I remembered Night, and I called the 1-800 number. I said, hey, bro, when's your next uh when's your next orientation? I said, when's your next orientation? It's such and such day. I said, what do I need to do to get in the class? And this is truck driver lingo. So what I need to do, he said, I'll go online, fill out the application, and then call me back at this number, this extension. I did. I said, okay. I went on, filled the application, called it. He said, can we do a CSA 2012 report on you and a DAC report? DAC report is they send your if I'm getting into any accidents or I destroyed any equipment or trucks or anything, it'll be on that report. It stays on there for years. And they said, can we do an MVR? Yeah, do all that. And he said, and I called him. And he said, everything came back. When do you want to start? I said, Well, bro, I don't really have a place to stay. Do y'all put? I know I live in Georgia, but I really don't have a car to get back and forth. I said, can you put me up in a hotel? Oh yeah, yeah. It was a hood hotel though. It was hilarious. He said, yeah, 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 yeah. Come on. I said, well, put me in the Monday class. He said, you check in Saturday. I said, oh, Saturday, okay. And my girlfriend was my wife now came home that day, and I said, I need you to give me a ride over to I think it was Commerce, Georgia. This address. She said, why? I said, I have orientation. So I just need to get on that side of town. What do you mean you got orientation? I looked at it, said, I got a job. I start Monday. And she had this blank look on her face. Said, well, I want to come. I'll stay with you. And now she was excited. And I remembered that because I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not a lazy bum. You know, I'm not mooch. I'm not a moocher. I'm not mooching off you. I have to work. If I got to do anything else, I got to work. I'm not a freaking yeah. I got to work, and it's so funny. I've been there ever since, which is night transportation. I've been there ever since. Isn't that crazy? And I hated every other trucker. This is the longest I've ever been in a trucking company. I think it's like what I'm going on 7 years or something like that. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, exactly. You, I may way below that too, brother. No, truckers, y'all be thinking truckers make all this money, but nah, we don't. Nah, we don't. Sorry, nah, we don't. I'm just gonna keep it 100. We don't make what you think we make. Why you think I can't afford that $15 to $20 shower every daggone day? Nah. Yeah, I'm a little poor too. That's why. Look, that's why I got. Once again, I will say I have the cash app if you want to donate to my poor addiction and poor lifestyle choices, buying lawnmowers and helping repair my yard. If you'd like to give $40 to Topsoil, you can meet me on my cash app. Oh, brother, I'm pathetic. Oh God, but I don't know that I just had that, but I had nothing after. I really got nothing after that. But uh, yeah, you know. But see, that's the thing. If I go back to the original thing that I started all the conversations with when I'm talking about Ricky Smiley and what he had said about sometimes you got to put your kids out. I learned in my mid 20s how that's when ramen noodles was 10 cents a pack. So $5 got you a case of ramen noodles. I learned how to make ramen noodles a couple of hundred ways. How to live off those the chicken and pork and whatever hot dogs that you see that they were a 99 cent now with inflation. They're what $1.20 at Walmart. You know, I learned to go to the bread factory. Uh, those spots that Wonder Bread Factory outlet that the bread is out of date, but it's sold at a discount. Remember them? I you know I also learned how to go to the food sites and the food pantries and You know, I learned how to you know, what's that? Honey baked ham. Honey baked ham used to the honey baked ham machine does the swirl cut all the way to a certain spot, and then they would take the ham off and sell that ham bone with a little good chunk of meat on the bottom of it. I learned how to when Thanksgiving we couldn't afford a turkey. We went out and I went out and purchased 3 or 4 honey baked hams, which was like the, before honey baked ham got smart. It was like $5 or $6, 3 4 hams, sliced all that meat off there. There was a little brown sugar and pineapple juice and baked that off and had ham and ham. You know, uh, I learned how to get a big old bag of rice. Sometimes you go to the Asian markets, but it's gonna be cheaper, and you get different types of rice. You know, add a little bit of this, or you know, you learn how to struggle, but you learn how to adapt and overcome. So when you actually have money, you start holding back. My wife says I'm cheap as all get out, because I want to learn how to, I'm still learning how to keep it. You know, uh, I I I learned how to keep it. I'm trying to learn how to keep it. That's why I slowed down and said, you know what, uh, this year is going to be the year I work on my stuff and make that stuff better. But I'm save. I'm gonna save too. You know what I mean? I got to get back into saving. You know, yeah, we want to get those people um to come to our channel. We want to have giveaways, whatever. I'm thinking I have it. I don't know what y'all if y'all know what a gimbal is. A gimbal is you take your smartphone, you connect it on the mount, and then it does certain things. It doesn't wiggle, whatever. You can do professional shots with it, or whatever. I'm going to start saving up because it's probably going to take me another year or two to get to 1,000. When I get to 1,000, I'm going to probably give that. That's going to be one of my giveaways. I'm going to give that away. I was going to do it at 500, but I got to save up for that because I think the one I bought, the one I have right now, is like 165 bucks. I want to give that away, but I want to give that away that it's not going to burden me either. So we learn how to struggle, but struggle and still have a smile on our face. But if you struggle and you hate in life and everything else, you, are you really struggling with that money, or are you struggling with something else? Think about it. Think about it. You know, because when I grew up, I got all my brothers hand me downs. Remember the good old days where you had to go back and get that shoe polish, that liquid shoe polish to put on the sneakers to make it look newer, and they get all crusty after a while. You know, I remember them days. Oh man, I remember we had a washing machine, but it didn't work, so you had to scrub with soap or dishwashing detergent, or if you could get some soap powder, let your clothes soak in the sink and scrub them, and then let them dry because the dryer was broken and never got fixed. You know, that struggle. You never forget that stuff. So when it's your turn to get out there in the world, you already prepared. Oh, oh, oh! I need to do this. I need to. That's all I need to do. Oh shoot! I'm gonna have me some food. I remember. I still do it to this day. I was sitting. A lot of times you sitting there at truck stops and you're sitting there in the front seat and you're watching someone else. And I watch this guy. He's just going to the back of the truck, coming to the front, walking across the parking lot, and throwing out these bags. So inquisitive me, I walk back there. This guy was throwing about out bags of rice. He said, because the pallet had hit that, the pallet jacket hit that pallet and cut the bottom open, so the whole pallet was rejected. So he had to get rid of it. I said, hey man, you mind if I get some of that? He said, no problem, but take as much as you want. So shoot, I got about 100 pounds of rice that I got off the back of a truck because the guy was throwing it out. I remember one time I was at our yard. This guy had a truck backed up to um a dumpster. He's chucking stuff out. And I'm looking at him. Say, hey man, what's wrong with that stuff? And once again, the pallet jack hit the bottom, so the whole thing was rejected. It was those, shakes, those protein shakes and they were low carb protein shakes. It took me a whole year to drink up all the shakes that I took off that truck. I had boxes everywhere. I took and I added it up. I had about $1,100 worth of protein shakes that I brought home. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting and looking. I had one dude over in Texas. He was throwing out mozzarella cheese. I could take as much as I could fit in my refrigerator till I brought it home. And we got it in our freezer. We got big bags of mozzarella cheese. You got to learn. You got to learn how out here. You got to learn out here to survive. That survival instinct only comes when, just like that little bird, mama bird throws you out there. You got to learn how to survive out here mentally. Well, notice how normally we say monetarily, but mentally, physically, and monetarily. You gotta learn how to survive out here. And then we gotta stop coddling our kids and teach them how to come out and do what we do. They be thinking, oh, I know better. Oh, I know better. My son, it ain't funny. I was about to giggle. It ain't funny. He was going in the Marines, and I'm thinking like, son, you don't have the mentality to be a Marine. I barely had the mentality to be in the Navy. Said you don't have, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but I'm thinking of me, my father, as old as he was, he nodded and said he ain't gonna make it. And he said, Dad, they teach you how to. I said, I knew he didn't know how to swim. I said, tell him to hold up. I will pay for you to learn how to swim. And I spent hundreds of dollars, not because for the swim swimmers are cheap, but I could not get anyone because I was on the road. So I Ubered him over to my side of town where I knew there was a place. But he went and they threw him off this, platform into the water and expected him that's how they teach you how to swim. That's how they teach you how to swim. He didn't realize that you got to have that that, that killer instinct. And he just knew, well, my mother said this, and well, your mother don't know what she's talking about. You know, I know what I'm talking about. And I told him he was heartbroken when he didn't make it through. But I explained to him, son, you know, people might say so many negative things about me as your father, but I actually know a few. I actually knew a little. I actually know a little bit, and I know how to survive. I know how to survive. Oh, Monday, not feeling good. I hope you feel better. Sorry about it. Sorry, I can't see that, but I'm driving. I didn't look down. I just happened to look down real quick. Um, we have to be able to handle and find a way to pass on the knowledge that we know to the next generation. They might not want to hear it now. They might not want to hear it later, but find a way to get it into them so they will understand. Like I just had a talk with my son. I said, son, you don't know how to drive a car. I'm going to be looking. I say new, but it's going to be used. I'm going to be looking for an F-350 dually within the next 2 to 3 years. And I said, I have no problem giving you my old truck, but you don't know how to drive. I said, but I'm not gonna hunt you down. You're a man now. I'm not gonna hunt you down to give you lessons. You need to find me. I got no problem helping you. I ain't got no problem help building your credit. But you got to listen to what I got to say. You listen and learn, so and don't trust everybody. You pass that knowledge on. And I say, hey, why don't you come over? I'll be home this week. Come over, hang out with your pops, you know, have a beer or two, and then we work in the yard and talk about things, see how things are going. And then, not after the beer, but either before the beer or whatever, take them in a big old parking lot and start teaching them how to learn how to drive. So when it's time for me to give up this vehicle, hey, you got one. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's funny you talk about it, we get lax about everybody's thinking. I'm gonna change subject again. Everybody's thinking that the coronavirus is over. No, it ain't over, and it's mutating. Hopefully, it'll be like the Spanish flu. That Spanish flu is what the flu is nowadays, and then what they're saying eventually that coronavirus is going to mutate into just a plain flu, but they ain't there yet. And we are going around like it's okay. I don't need it. Even my wife doing it. She don't be wearing masks. Guess what? I still wear masks. I'm out in public. I wear a mask. I'm out in the store. I wear a mask. Cause guess what? When I didn't wear that freaking mask, I was sick as a dog. And I have asthma, so when I get sick, it's even worse. And when I do get sick, it's hard to get rid of that cough. Oh, that's a whole nother story. But it is what it is. Okay, okay. We have reached. We have. I must say this with all hurt and due diligence. We have reached that time of the day where I must say, for some of y'all, good evening. For most of y'all, good morning. And it's become my saying: if you don't know this, God loves you, and I love you too. And I just thanks for coming in and listening to me mumble for a good hour, and just let you know thank you, and let you know y'all appreciate it. And I probably yeah, I'll be on tomorrow, but probably Friday. I tomorrow tomorrow and Thursday I'll be on, but Friday I definitely won't because I'm gonna be getting ready for the live-a-thon the early morning live-a-thon. You're welcome. You're welcome. And just stay. You guys stay strong. Keep posting your videos. Keep being yourself, and know that there is someone watching. Someone with a smiley face. So thanks, and have a nice day. Y'all be blessed and be safe out there. Later.